Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue, and we're back, and we're here with another video from Charles Kirk. Another interesting one. Let's see what we got going on. This one says, "This is why America is in a decline." This should be interesting. Let's find out why Charles think that this is the case. Of course, he's at another university. Stop terrorism, protect borders. Yo, honestly, I mean, he's not lying. Not to say that, other lives in other countries don't matter, but when you just letting people in and they're just doing whatever the heck they want, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that we're letting this happen. But let's go ahead and see what he's talking about.
How's it going?
I'm great.
Good. I have a question about immigration.
Okay.
So I'm a legal immigrant.
From what country?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I got out of the Marine Corps.
Okay, hold on. Did he say he's illegal? He's legal? It's very easy to get that mixed up. He's illegal, not he's illegal. He's legal. He's illegal. Okay, let me stop.
Immigrant.
From what country?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a legal immigrant.
He's illegal.
From what country?
Okay.
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I got out of the Marine Corps too.
Okay.
So would I be accepted here?
Did you come the right way? You came.
He just said legal. He just said legal. Okay, I think what happens is that in the past, when it comes to Republicans, when it comes to Trump and talking about like immigrants, he does specify immigrants. He doesn't. Then there's not too many. I recall this myself when Trump was doing his debates and all that stuff in his rallies. He did say, I do remember him saying immigrants a lot and not specifying illegal. No. I'm lying. I do recall him saying illegal immigrants, but he also says immigrants as a whole. So there was a kind of confusion on what he was referring to. He's just like immigrants, but even if you're an immigrant, if you came here legally, then there's no reason for you to go back. So I guess, yeah, I don't know. Let's see where he's going with this.
Came legally?
Yeah, legally.
So you were born in Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super rare. Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, that's
How's that?
not.
I don't know if you should have said that. Yo, that's literally like saying like a white person coming to a black person and being like, "Oh, you know how to swim? That's super rare." I don't think you should have said that.
Why is it rare?
Yeah.
Because most people from Mexico come into the country illegally.
I don't think that's
8 million people in the last 2 years. How many legal immigrants from Mexico have there been in the last 2 years? Probably 100 to 200,000.
a couple million. But
Not a couple million.
how are we
no.
getting the numbers though?
From the federal government. 8 million illegal people crossed into our country the last 2 years. Now, I'm complimenting you for coming here legally.
Is that more than the legal?
Yeah, so illegal is about 1.2 million total green cards administered every single year, worldwide, globally.
Is that Mexicans or people coming from Mexico?
Well, that's a good point.
8 million?
Not everyone. It's from Mexico and everyone's Mexican. That's a good point. Yeah.
No, I was just asking.
No, that's actually smart. So it's probably more like 1 out of 8 are probably from Mexico. So that's still about 1 million. But I'm not criticizing, I'm just complimenting you.
But are you all for diversity, right?
No.
Then wait, so legal immigration is bad. If you're
Right
not
now
for
we have way too much legal immigration. Yeah. Way too much.
1.2 million.
It's way too much. Yeah.
But okay, how about let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
Diversity is bad.
Well, diversity can be bad, yeah.
Why?
Well, because what if everyone's strangers with one another? Speaking different languages and has nothing in common. How is that a country?
They can learn.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. A lot of people are learning.
Is Ilhan Omar, is she assimilating to the American?
Okay. Oh, it's dark outside. Very, very interesting points. This may be the one time where I'm not 100% on what he's saying, but I actually have to think about this.
American experiment well?
Is that a congresswoman?
Has Ilhan Omar bought into the American ideas?
I think so.
How?
She's a progressive. She's trying to help.
So progressivism is an American value?
Yeah.
George Washington was a progressive?
I mean, you can't go all the way to the 19. Countries change.
Before them.
The society changes all the time.
Interesting.
So
What in the Constitution has changed since 1787?
I mean, amendments. There's been a lot of amendments.
No, but what has been removed from the preamble or the Bill of Rights?
again, maybe back then we couldn't really do anything about the constitutions, but as time moves, we are more adaptable to change.
Well, hold on. Do human beings change?
Yeah.
We do? How have human beings changed since the 1780s?
Technology. I mean,
Well, no, technology. I'm talking about human beings.
Do you want me to go all neuroscience on you, or like?
Well, no, how has even neuroscience changed?
People can't really do emotional situations at all right now. We're too involved in technology. We've been changing little by little. Although maybe you're talking about like hunters and gatherers.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, so the
physicality and all that.
No, I'm just saying, like, are human beings the same raw material that they were in the 1780s? Does like free speech still matter like it did in the 1780s? Like the Declaration of Independence says, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands that have tied them to another. Does that become less true as time goes on? And I'm asking for a reason.
But that's
because our system is built on eternal truths, not progressive ideals. So actually the American project is conservative in nature. Ilhan Omar has not embraced that idea. But anyway, going back to the immigration thing.
we're built with liberal ideals.
Are we?
Yeah,
Where?
everywhere. Like democracy.
Where is democracy in the United States?
Republic?
Hold on. Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution? Where does that word appear?
I don't know.
It doesn't. How about in the Declaration?
Doesn't even.
In the Federalist Papers, it appears only negatively. So democracy is not an American value.
I'm pretty sure they're talking about democracy like what they thought democracy was
But
back then.
where do you get the idea that democracy is an American value?
Because we are in a democracy.
No, we're not.
Democratic state.
Who said that?
It's between the democratic and the monarchy. It's a republic.
Oh, no, hold on. That's different. Republic is different than democracy. So you're just like making stuff up.
No, I'm not making stuff up.
Well, democracy is nowhere in our founding documents.
Where do you think Republican?
Oh, no, republic, yes, that's a different form than a democracy. Totally different.
It's just a rewritten democracy.
No. Republic is you have irrefutable eternal truths that do not change just because the majority wants them to change. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, property, separation of power.
Interesting. I need to go back on that. Before I do that, and like I said, y'all, I'm not dumb. I'm still learning, okay? So, democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elective representatives. Okay. Democracy is a system of government in which state power is vested in the people or the general population of a state. According to the United Nations, democracy provides an environment that respects human rights and fundamental freedoms, in which they freely express the will of people is exercised. That makes sense. Democrat seems okay. Republic. A state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch. Y'all, that sounds like where we are. So then how? A republic based on the Latin phrase res publica is a state in which the political power rests within the public through their representatives. In contrast to a monarchy, representation in a republic may or may not be freely elected by general citizenry. See, there's this whole bit of politics that I just am not well versed in, and this is one of those things. But honestly, yeah, that's kind of weird how we're essentially a republic. So where did democracy come from? I know it's probably like clear as day, but I mean, again, this is me learning because I don't know this stuff. That's why it's up here. You're not here because I have all the facts. You're here because you want to see what the heck I'm talking about, and which clearly isn't much because I'm learning. Interesting.
No, republic is you have irrefutable eternal truths that do not change just because the majority wants them to change. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, property, separation of powers, independent judiciary. A democracy is this. I want to be able to take away their rights because I don't like them. Nazi Germany was a democracy.
Was it?
We don't like the Jews. Give us power. We're going to take their rights away. Hitler was democratically elected.
I don't know. I don't know, Charles.
Yes or no?
Yes. But I'm
So
pretty
maybe
sure it was a
democracy isn't
Republican
great.
That became a tyranny.
Well, no, it became a democracy always leads to tyranny. That's what they don't teach in school.
A republic.
Republic, if you can keep it, does not necessarily. The problem with a republic is that if the people no longer want a republic, then it ceases to exist.
Is has that been true throughout history?
There's only been a couple republic governments ever, and that was Rome. The Roman
Yeah.
Republic ceased to exist because they didn't want it to be a republic anymore,
They were there for many years after.
as an empire, right? Remember when Julius Caesar took it from a Roman republic to a Roman empire? He basically called himself dictator, and they became dictator for life, and then you had Roman emperors, not Roman consuls, which were one-year rulers of Rome, right?
Isn't that what Trump tried to do?
No. Trump won an election, right?
He won.
See, see, and that's the other thing. You see, I knew this was one of the things that I couldn't fully agree on with Charlie when it came to Trump, because he's a heavy on Trump, and I'm not by no means heavy on Trump. I do very vividly, clearly recall Trump stating that he was trying to take. Okay, maybe not vividly, but I do recall hearing him talk, insinuating that he was going to take full control of everything. When he first got elected, Trump was talking about a whole bunch of crazy stuff, acting like he had control, he had all the power. But it makes sense. You were a businessman, so now you're the president who's essentially the CEO of the United States. So it makes sense to think that you have all the power because you're the man. You're the CEO. But that's not how it works in politics, which I think he didn't understand back then.
Okay, let's go back to immigration.
Okay,
If
sure.
You still want to continue?
No, yeah, that's
I don't-
fine. I mean, but you cannot bring people into the country that don't share your values and still be a country. You could
I see where you're getting at. Okay.
be something else, you just won't be a country.
How
Okay. It took me a second, but I kind of get where he's coming at with that. I'm kind of getting it.
do you think this country was? A lot of people. This country was made by people coming from different places. And
Good
wanting
point.
freedom.
So were we made by settlers or immigrants?
Immigrants, right? Immigrants, because there were people here before us. Were they established like the Europeans? No, but they were here before us. So theoretically, the Europeans were the foreign people coming into America.
Made by. What's the difference?
Think about it. Ever asked that question before? It's okay, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but there's a huge difference. A settler does what? Starts something new. An immigrant comes to something already built. Which one started America?
Settlers did.
So we're not a nation of immigrants, we're a nation of settlers. And yes, we have used immigration as a tool to enrich the American experiment because a lot of people assimilated. The Irish did, the Polish did, the Italians did, the Germans did. We are now losing assimilation as a primary prerequisite. Okay, so do more people speak Spanish or English in California at home, under the age of 30?
Probably. I don't know.
Spanish. And that doesn't mean you're a bad person, it just means that you're losing what a country is, which is borders, language, culture, amongst other things. That's not it. And that's fine. If the argument is we want to become something other than a country, then
Okay, I'm wasting too much of your time.
you're not wasting time. But first of all, thank you for coming to the country legally,
All right.
and thank you for serving the country.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting takes from Charles. I wanted to continue on the immigration topic. I don't necessarily know how I feel about his stance. I see where he's coming from, and it's very weird. You have America, you have essentially immigrants that came in and kind of settled because there were Native Americans here. Where the Native Americans were naturally originally stationed, I don't know. But from my understanding, a lot of them were moved out of where they originally lived because of settlements. I don't know how much of the Thanksgiving thing was true, but essentially Thanksgiving wasn't what it essentially was. They kind of just came here, acted friendly, and then ended up just moving them out, type thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm you're not here because I have all the answers. You're here because I don't have all the answers, and we're here learning together. So please correct me if I'm wrong. So essentially they've settled here, and as time progressed, years, decades have progressed, you have more Europeans immigrating over here, especially during the industrial times. You have plenty of Europeans coming in here. And then as time progressed, you get to the 1900s. Then you start to have, people from other nations coming in. Later in the 1900s, like around the 1950s and stuff like that, you start having people like my family, the Haitians, coming in from Haiti, who got their independence before anybody else in a lot of areas. So, Haiti got their independence in 1804, and they were the first amongst a lot of regions in that area. I mean, a lot of states that's been colonized in general to get their independence. But because of certain things that happened, thanks to France, thanks to Germany, thanks to America, they became indebted to all these nations and couldn't really survive on their own, even though they were a displaced nation put into a different world, but then colonized, kind of took over and colonized that area, but then having to owe all these other nations somehow, and now being the impoverished state that it's in right now. So a lot of Haitians migrated over here, same way as like a lot of Hispanics from South America, from Puerto Rico, from Cuba, from DR. They migrated over here, same as Africans, how they migrated over here. I understand his stance of eventually you get to a point where we're no longer American, because now you just have a whole bunch of segregated areas. People don't like to coexist because they have nothing in common. When you go to like certain areas, that's why you see like all the Hispanics are in one area. Like especially like in Georgia, you got Duluth. There's a side of Duluth where it's all Asian. You got a side of Norcross where in Lilburn where it's majority Hispanic. You got the side of Sewanee and Buford where it's majority Caucasian. You got the side of Lawrenceville where it's majority black. Got the side of Atlanta where there's majority of black. And then you got the side of everywhere else where it's majority white. So, but there's really no commingling with one another to where we can live together unless you're like in those suburban areas where this house has a white family, this house has a black family, this house has a Hispanic family, and they all speak English. They all have dinners. The kids know each other and stuff like that. That's the only real way of them really coexisting, because outside of that, if you just have a bunch of immigrants, the immigrants are going to stay amongst the immigrants. So I understand where he's coming from with that. The way that he's talking, making it seem like they just need to cut immigration or just like heavily decrease immigration, which, I mean, at the rate that we're having all these illegal immigrants coming into America just all willy-nilly, then yes, I think I guess we have some type of control somewhere, then maybe go ahead and decrease. No, we just need to figure out the whole illegal immigration type thing. But I mean, I see where he's coming from. Do I fully agree with that idea? No, but I think that's more so my emotion than me using logic. Because what he's saying is definitely logical, but I don't know how I feel about just decreasing the amount of people coming into America. But at the same time, I definitely see where he's coming from, where you just have so much people of different nations that America no longer becomes America. It just literally becomes a melting pot. And then not even a melting pot, it just becomes a whole bunch of puzzle pieces, but nothing fits type thing. I don't know. It's interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.